Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all doing? We will get started officially in 3 minutes. On the screen right now, I have my chart layout. I use TradingView. I have my simple moving averages, exponential moving averages, spelled out there, the yellow 50
Good
MA.
morning, pregame crew.
Sorry,
How are y'all doing?
We don't want to hear me twice. So green is the 8 EMA, red is the 21 EMA, and the yellow candles are the inside bars. And I just put them as yellow just to call them out for my eyes, because your eyes can get tired when you stare at charts for 10 plus hours a day. The RSI that I use is the CM Ultimate RSI multi-time frame. You can set this RSI to show multiple time frames. I like the red and green to show me oversold and overbought, just again at a glance. And then at the bottom, TTM squeeze, think or swim, default. Lucifer, what a name, love it. Peculiar glow, Jorge, Christoph, Manchild, Robert, Falcon, Joshua, Crypto Baron, Veronica, okay, there's one name I can't do, Zoia, Zoya, man, it looks like a beautiful name, I'm just going to butcher it, and Dragon Man. So far, thank y'all for joining us. I'm going to clear my screen if you want to take a screenshot so we can get started today. Hey, Mr. Chad Bad, yeah, it's the remix. Okay, let's clear it off, and let's get started. We have the same story developing this morning that we did last week, where we have the Dow opening very strong, Nasdaq is the weakest, then RTY, then ES. So I guess let me just kind of resort it here so you can see. So the strongest is the Dow, so that's YM, so I'm going to resort it. That is the strongest, then ES, then RTY, and then Nasdaq. So this is strongest to weakest. YM is the strongest and Nasdaq is the weakest. So I'm just going to jump out to the 4 hour real quick. So on the 4 hour, we have the Dow with a potential 4 hour bull flag and ES potential 4 hour bull flag. And before I keep going, hi, I'm Chart Gal Lori. I am part of the Chart Guys community. We do the pregame show every morning. Last Friday, I was traveling. Jason held it down in an amazing fashion. Thank you, Jay. And thank you for joining us. So what I do is I go over the Fab Four futures. What are our four top sectors looking like? The four brothers, four sisters, whatever you want to call it. We look at the big sectors. We look at commodities, crypto, and then we look at the movers and shakers of the morning and or technical setups that are setting up very nicely that may offer day trades or swing trades. And then we end with SPY spot levels. I call SPY spot because SPY is not the futures ticker. ES is the futures ticker, or you can use SPX or SPX 500 USD on TradingView. And the way the format goes is we do have a chat room. Jason and Dragon Man are in there. If you have any questions, they will cover it. At the end, we'll just go answer a couple of questions. But if you really want that customized ticker request system, we have 3 live shows a day over at thechartguys.com in our community, and I suggest you check it out. So going back to YM being the strongest, Dow with a potential 4 hour bull flag, ES potential 4 hour bull flag. RTY is definitely not as weak, but just notice how on the not as strong, how it's over the 50 MA. Now look at the Nasdaq, under the 50 MA. So any EMA that you choose, so I'm not saying the 50 MA is the be all end all. It works for me and I'm comfortable with it. When you notice price relative to that EMA, and in one scenario price is below, that is an underperformer. So look at Nasdaq, price is below. Hasn't been able to close above at all, and that's why I'm saying RTY is just a little bit stronger. At least it was able to close above, and it's attempting to hold the 21 EMA. All right, let's zoom in and get you some shorter time frame levels. So on the Dow, we have support 34784 and 34740, and we have resistance at all-time high this morning 34826. So remember, Monday morning we come in. All of this has happened on lower volume. It wasn't a holiday night or anything like it was a couple Sundays ago, but we always have lower volume overnight unless something crazy happened, like an Iraq bombing happened and we had an oil high volume overnight. that type of thing. That is when we would have high volume overnight. So you can melt up or pull it down on low volume. So remember, even a gap up open is not always necessarily a great thing. Volume is our prove it factor. We want to see these bars going up, and then we know it is a for real thing. So on the Dow, we got our levels. Again, support 34784, 34740. What is included in the Dow that is pushing? Let's show you we talked about it last week. Let's just keep checking in. XLI, industrials, huge move. Transportations, huge move. Home building, huge move. So XLB, IYT, XLI, those are the three strongest sectors that are part of the Dow that are making it just so super strong. We have names like Caterpillar. Look at that. Let's look at the daily chart. That's just a beautiful chart. This TTM squeeze at the bottom, this is one of my trading edges. You don't have to use it. If it doesn't speak to you, it speaks to me. And you must individualize your trading system. So if you don't walk away from this morning with anything else, please listen to this. You will get caught up in any financial guru, furu is what they like to call it, their tweet, oh, go look at Caterpillar, and you run over and look at Caterpillar. Oh, go look at Roku, and you run over and go look at Roku. And you get trades out of it. Let's say half the trades are good. What if those people don't show up tomorrow to work? What if they make so much money that they're done? And then how are you going to trade? You must be able to get organic setups on your own, and then you can use a community like the Chart Guys to add tools to your toolkit to look at setups that then you analyze and you ascertain, is this a setup that works for me? Is this something that I trade? I know that it has happened to me too many times to not, I must mention it, is on the weekend you study so hard, you have these high conviction setups, and then you go into Monday and you see this guru say, oh, I am bearish Disney, and then all of a sudden you throw Disney out the window when you thought it was bullish. Stick with your own convictions, because at the end of the day, some of these options gurus or financial gurus that you listen to, they may not show up tomorrow. Your system must be your system. So I didn't know if I was gonna have time to bring it up, but I have to. I read this weekend, High Performance Trading, 35 Practical Strategies and Techniques to Enhance Your Trading Psychology and Performance. I got some pretty good tidbits out of it. I'm not saying you need to go buy this book in order to be a successful trader. And yes, I still read trading books. I am always learning. But what was in this book that really called it out and highlighted it in a different way for me is the need for a system. And it just reminded me to remind you that you need a system. You need a system that you can duplicate in order to be a successful trading. If you're just constantly if you're constantly trading by the seat of your pants, then you're going to just be very inconsistent. So please develop a system and adhere to that system, and always factor in what other people say, but don't give it so much weight to trump your own trading conviction. So let's look at SPY daily, no problems here. Oh, let me go back to the daily. I wanted to show you it has a TTM squeeze again. That speaks to me, where we have momentum is kind of stalling sideways here, but we do have price compression. This chart looks good. So on ES at this point, I wouldn't necessarily bet against it, but if technology continues to weigh on it, it will have a harder time moving higher. So we have resistance up at 42.34, 25, 42.34.50. And then support at 422.675, 422.350. So you can have, I know I get this question a lot. Well, this is a support. This is a support. This is a support. I like to call out where price pivots. So here you see it's a pivot. If you've ever played basketball and you plant your pivot foot and then you turn direction, that's what we're looking at. Where were the bears able to turn price? That was at these two pivots. Those are, in this case, lower highs. Here, where were the bulls able to change direction? Pivot, pivot, pivot. When we wick down, yes, it's a level to think about, but the bears weren't able to do anything with that level, so it may not be as strong, or it may not be as important as far as future price action. I hope that makes sense. So with ES, we're fighting to get over the 15-minute 50 MA. On the hourly, Here's what the odds favor. Some type of EQ. We have enough room now to get a higher low relative to 4222. So this is somewhat negating a potential for a bear flag because of the size of this bounce. So now we're looking for a higher low on the hourly relative to 42225. So hourly will give you the most clarity. If you can't get clarity on hourly, go out to the 4 hour. Keep zooming out and stay with those higher time frames. It will always, always, always improve your trading until you get more comfortable. Then you can do the zoom in, zoom back out, zoom in, zoom back out, and really get context. RTY. So RTY on the hourly, you can see we've given a lot more back. So RTY is weaker than ES, which we saw that earlier. It couldn't even make a proper bear flag before it fell to another lower low. So your supports on shorter time frames on RTY is 2251. After 2251 is 2229. Then resistance 2260 and 2261. I saw someone posted from another book, Trading for a Living, about trend trading versus range-bound trading. I've been saying this on the weekend videos with the swing report. I'm more comfortable in an environment like this, trading with levels. So you have that level, you have that level. I can go long at these two supports. I can go short up here. And actually, it made a good point that I had not really verbalized or articulated before, is that you can trade heavier within a range. So if you have a key support level, let's say this support here, 219880, you have a support. You can go heavier here if it were to come back and test it because your stop is close by. Same thing with, you could short 23227. Oh, if we were to run up into that level, you could short with larger size because you have levels in which to stop out that are close by, and it can increase your risk to reward, or increase your reward and actually decrease your risk because your stop is nearby. But when you are trading something like this Dow, it's a little bit harder. So if you jump in on a pullback, you can't go in with as much size because you don't have a level nearby. So just articulated in a different way. Again, I'm mentioning another book because I'm always, always, always learning. Nasdaq on the 15-minute, you see the 21 EMA. The slope of the EMA is pointing down. It's an electric fence. Every time the bulls poke their head above the fence, they get electrocuted. Shock, shock, shock. And until they can get over the 15-minute, they are going to have a difficult time. We had downgrades this morning. We had different attacks on, let me actually read it. So this morning we had Microsoft amid news, Pentagon is scrapping the $10 billion Jedi cloud contract deal. And if you'll remember, they had a big deal that came out earlier this year. Well, the Pentagon is considering scrapping it. Google with an analyst downgrade, Facebook with a downgrade. So we have some news stories that are plaguing the tech name. So they have a lot of work to do. So we have resistance at 1367950, 1368475, support 13641, 13636. All right, let's go to commodities. All right, so commodities, we have gold has made a huge move. So we actually bottom fished it last week, didn't we? We had this bottom fish that presented itself, this bottom fish that presented itself, and gold has just made a wonderful move. I acknowledge that we're moving into the underside of a very flat 200 MA on the daily. The resistance is 1856.60. This may be an area where bears could pile in. I haven't said the word Mars in a while. I like to work from Mars levels. What is a Mars level? It's a level you can see from Mars. So if you don't know a lot about trading, and I put this chart in front of my 19-year-old son who's never looked at a chart, and I say, where would be an area where price may pause? It would be here. You can see this level from Mars. You can see this level from Mars. So just be careful, gold bulls. Overall, everything is constructive. Not saying there's a time to get worried. We even have a little bit of a rounded bottom on the hourly, but just something to note. Your key support is at 1833.50, 1830.50, and then 1817.70. Resistance 1844. Then after 1844, Mars level up at 1856. Oil, strong. They had news this weekend. I have notes over here. Let me go see if I can go back to my notes on oil, if I can find it quickly. There was some type of blow up or something of a pipeline that I don't see it right now in my notes. I had it pulled up. But there was something with a pipeline that blew up that's impacting oil. So oil opened up somewhat bullishly. Overall, oil has a constructive pattern until it doesn't. So on the weekly, we have this little bit of a rounded bottom. What I would like to see is for oil to get this rounded bottom and then get this little cup and handle here. So we have the rounded bottom, but get that bull flag on the weekly. So XLE names are still in favor as long as oil is chugging along. Key resistance is 65.58, 65.75, support 65.03, double bottom, then 64.67. Let's go look at crypto. What a fun weekend with crypto. Lots of big moves to capitalize on. Our room did. You have resistance up at 58379, 58646, support 57401 and 57142. Let me zoom out on Bitcoin. On the daily and 4 hour, as long as we are staying above these EMAs, I'm down with it. Down with it bullish. So we broke this level here by $30, $40. That's not enough of a bull break. If you wanted to make your life simple, you could say, okay, this is a 4 hour EQ. And I want it to keep tightening, tighten, and that way we get more explosive moves, and it gives the bulls time to just go back to their bench, grab a towel, drink some water, and that's what this is. Big bull push, come back to the bench, hand me a towel, give me some Gatorade, let me just kind of catch my bearings before you can make another leg higher. When you're just going straight up, you're not building support along the way, and those moves can tend to give a lot back. Ethereum on 4 hour hourly, just really beautiful move. On the hourly, we may get a lower high relative to that all-time high 4174 that we made overnight at 2 a.m. So let's make it easy. 4175 is that resistance. We have plenty of room for a higher low. I personally would like to see some more EQ action as well from Ethereum. Give the bulls time to cool things off before they take another leg higher. I don't know if I gave you that support. Ethereum support 3984. Litecoin, as you can see, is not as strong. We were talking about it last night in the room. We had this action here, and then we had this TTM squeeze. It was just a beautiful move. We had a big spike up, giving a lot back right now. So definitely weaker of the top three coins in the crypto space of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Litecoin's a little bit weaker. We have resistance on the hourly up at 407.36, 413.91. We have support 37778 and 35652. Why is Litecoin weaker? Remember, we are not in all-time high territory. I guess we are right here at 420. We are approaching all-time high. We haven't broke it yet. 420 is from that December 2017 beautiful run. Okay, so I put a Forex name in here that I thought I would go over. So I don't normally go over Forex. So overall currency, we are approaching a resistance of 14245. I wanted to show you on the monthly. So on the monthly, we have 14245 and 14413. So Great Britain, the lockdowns are getting eased. They had multiple different news headlines. It strengthens Britain in a more bullish light, and so it's making the 6B have a run. So that's on the monthly, 1.4245, 1.4413. If I traded this frequently, which I don't, I would be looking for a short. So the RSI on the 4 hour is up at 84. On the hourly, 83. I would wait for price action to confirm, at least on the 15-minute, lose that 15-minute uptrend up near 1.4245, and that could be a short if you are a futures trader or a Forex trader. If you're an options trader, I believe it's FXB that you could go long. So overall, British pound futures are really making a move here, and they're capitalizing on dollar weakness. So that could be an opportunity for a trade to the short side, but you're going to have to wait for price to confirm and bobble back to the downside, or these bulls will run right over you. BNTX, this is related to COVID, a biotech name. They had wonderful earnings. This was pretty cool. I was looking at this name. I was looking at it last week up at 220, came down to 145, hourly oversold here, and a $30 bounce, hourly oversold here, and a $60 bounce. So they had great earnings, could have some volatility. If you are comfortable in a volatile environment, support 198.90. 194.10, then down at 184.55. If we were to get some gap fill, what does gap fill mean? Okay, so we closed the day at 183.71. So 183.71. So we're popping up way over that. If we were to come back to 183.71, get that gap fill, which we do have another gap down here at 171.89. But just watch BNTX if you like the volatile names. This is a beautiful chart. Actually, this is underneath the 50 MA. We have a downtrending 50 MA with a slight frown overhead. We have earnings this week to be aware of. However, we have a daily TTM squeeze. This could be a volatile name for the week. And I was kind of watching. Y'all know I don't like downtrend lines, but overall, we have been in a downtrend. If we could get over 189.22, then 190.40, this could really get going. DKNG had 5 downgrades this morning. Daily's oversold. So let's see what the bears can do with this. We are at the weekly 50 MA. Really beat down on lots of time frames. 47.32 is your pre-market support. Then after 47.32, your next support is at 44.10. Do we have a we have a gap down here at 47.78. It filled by a few pennies, but 47.78, we have a gap. If we were to approach 44.10, this could be a great bottom fishing opportunity. They had earnings obviously last week, and so they're getting all the downgrades based on those earnings. So DKNG may give you some nice volatility. I need to go a little faster. RCL, John's charts in our room. Thank you, John, for posting this. We have a lot of the cruise liners that are really getting really tight here. You have resistance on the weekly at 92.45, 95.30. Support 79.03, 78.86. At TCG, a lot of our trading edges for a lot of individuals are tightening ranges. So we have price just tight, and then when it breaks out of these ranges, you can get some nice scalping opportunities. Roku, I mean, what a trade. I kind of messed up this trade, if I have to be honest. Thursday, I was traveling. I bought this low, got a little scared because I didn't know if I was going to lose service. I bought it at 274, sold out real quick because they had earnings after hours. They had earnings beat. So did I mess up? I don't know. I don't like to gamble on earnings, so maybe I wouldn't be so rough on myself and call it a mess up. But we do have a tightening range. We have resistance 321.34, support 313.69. This could provide continued volatility this week, so watch Roku. I like Roku to the long side. Of course, I just lost my connection on my mouse. I like Roku to the long side. We will see if it can hold 313.69 this morning. It could be a buying opportunity. TTD had earnings this morning, and they don't like it. So I had it here. I had no idea what the earnings were, what the numbers were. So you have support down at 561.02. So if it were to get there, it may be a buying opportunity. But with this crazy, wow, they must have really botched earnings. So on any bounce, it may be another short opportunity. So this definitely has some great volatility. I had no idea it was going to be this good. And remember, prior support may act as resistance. So if we were to bounce into 59169, that could be a resistance. Okay, Tesla, we always look at Tesla because so many people have questions on it. Yeah, if you could hit the like button, I would appreciate it. It helps our overall views. And we love hanging out with y'all, and we'd love to hang out with even more people and help. 66451, 66410 is your support. Your resistance 6744, and then 690. Tesla on the 4-hour is starting to squeeze. Let's see if they can find their bottom and turn up. Okay, I have to say it. Did y'all watch Elon on Saturday Night Live and he flashed 3 fingers on each hand, then turned it the other way? I'm a detective with all things Elon. I love his big old brain, and I'm just speculating that June 6th, so he flashed 6/6, so maybe June 6th he would have some type of announcement. Let's see. Can you do anything with that information? Absolutely not, but is it fun to think about? Yes. Okay, so SPY, our all-time high, 422.82, established on Friday. So right now we got some Bull flags. Look at this 30-minute squeeze here. This looks bullish. So we got a little cup and handle is what we ended with on Friday. This chart looks great. I would not get too crazy on these SPY bulls. If I were a bear, I would be very cautious because they have a lot of momentum. You have support 42252, 42217, and 422. Resistance, we have 42281 and 42290. Let me do what I always do and don't be sloppy. Magnet, magnet. Let me give you these levels. So if you want to screenshot this, here are your levels to open up with SPY. Hey, happy Monday. Hi, Baron. Awesome, Baron. Thanks for joining. Hi, Keyshawn. Yeah, XRP and XLM look amazing. XLM had a great move. Oh, you're down, Joshua, on Dogecoin. So many people, when your aunt and your mama and your hairdresser and your taxi driver or your Uber driver are giving you stock tips to please buy Doge, then that is always a clue that the top is near. I'm not trying to rub salt in a wound here, but just always be cautious with these names with lots of hype. And I know GameStop, they got it to keep going way past most of us, traders that have been around for a while even imagine. So that definitely could happen with Doge, but we have to have a trading plan for every entry that we make. We must have a trading plan. All right, Tilray. Okay, Mustang, you get one. Oh, and we had the big news, the big acquisition. Trulieve bought Harvest this morning, so watch for some volatility in the USMJ space. You have resistance up at 1647, 1648. Let me zoom out, Mustang. So the 50 MA is a key here, okay? So we keep closing below it. If we get above 1702, we could really get going. Your next resistance will be 1895, 1926. On the daily, we got a lot of stuff going on overhead, but I would say that volume really sticks out on Tilray. USMJ may get all the love today with the acquisition news, but this could be a reversal pattern. You have support 1580, 1560, resistance 1647, 1670. You're welcome, Melissa. Hey, P Court. Hey, Christopher. Yeah, Christopher, I really like it. Yeah, Frankie, I know. Me too, but sometimes you just have to learn. It's our tuition that we pay sometimes with these losses that we know to never do that again. Always have a trading plan. That's it for me. All right. I will see you TCG members in the room. You pregame people that aren't TCG members, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for joining.